Hey friends, Ernie here from the Trader of Futures for another Bitcoin volumetric analysis. And before I get started, I want to tell you about my course. I'm offering a course date, and many of you may have heard of my volumetric course. I've had probably about 100 people go through it so far. And that was only on one weekend. I did it about 2 months back. And as you know, I've gone through a tremendous amount of strife trying to conduct business here on the interwebs between payment processors just putting hate on anything to do with crypto, dropped by PayPal, Stripe, Square, finally settling with Amazon Pay and Authorize.net, both excellent companies. But I've had to change things up. And then, to complicate matters, some criminals, they steal my identity, then delete my YouTube account. So I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm just going to move forward. So I haven't been able to offer this course for the past 6 weeks or so. But I am going to offer it next Saturday. That's the weekend after Memorial Day weekend. I didn't want to offer it in the Memorial Day weekend because I'm sure that many of you have better things to do than sit around for a few hours and talk crypto and volumetric analysis. However, I'm going to sweeten the pot for you that if you sign up for next Saturday before the weekend is over, in other words, if you sign up by Monday, there are going to be two things that you're going to get. One is that you're going to get a discount on the regular price of the course. That's a live course where I teach it in a kind of a webinar type setting, but full interaction with students, and the classes are never more than 10 people. And on top of that, and this is big, I'm going to offer one of my coaching sessions to every member, a one-on-one session with follow-up. And we can talk about anything that you want. My sessions go anywhere from 60 minutes to 90 minutes. We can talk about your trading strategy, develop a strategy, develop a discipline, develop a systematic approach, whatever you'd like, with follow-up. So typically on my sessions, I provide some kind of action items or homework, and then we follow up on that, and I make sure that you're accountable to those actions. So it's a great value. And that's all included with the price of the course. And on top of that, now this is going to take a little more time because all my stuff was deleted. I'm building back up an on-demand course, so there will be a reference to that. And I provide live support. So let me say, there is nobody else in the industry that provides live support, period. On top of that, getting one-on-one coaching. And if you join my Discord group, I'm there every day, man. Every day. So it's a fantastic value. And you'll learn how to trade the markets like a professional using volume. Now, if you think price action is the shit, sorry. But professionals choose volume over price action. Simple as that. All right, let's get to Bitcoin volumetric analysis. And so behind me is a fantastic tool called Tensor Charts. Now, I'm not paid by Tensor Charts in any way. I am in touch with the developer, and I am helping him out with ideas on how to enhance this. And it is without a doubt the best volumetric tool that I know of. And on top of it is free, at least for now. So I have no idea what the developer has in store for this, but it is an incredible tool. If you're into volumetric analysis and into scalping using order flow, this is the tool. It's fantastic. All right, and the tool that I'm going to be using in the course, and the tool that I kind of build the course around, and a lot of my analysis, is TradingView, because they have volume profile. And so typically what I do is I go through a multi-time frame analysis. So I'll build up my analysis on the daily, 4-hour, and hourly time charts. And so what I'm going to show you today is the daily and 4-hour. And what I do with the profile, and you'll see that over here, I have the volume profile, and that's showing for the entire range of what's showing in the chart, the visible range, is I kind of map out the market structure. And why is this important? This is important because market structure will tell you exactly how price is going to behave as it navigates or crosses through those structural elements. And along with your narrative, and this is something also I teach in the course, how to develop an overall narrative of the sentiment of the market and either a bullish or bearish or neutral bias. When you overlay that on top of the structure of the market, it'll give you a high probability of being able to predict where price is going, because you're not using lagging indicators like in price action. You're not trying to discern the past to predict the future. You're looking at the actual present action of what's going on, the present supply and demand. And it's a powerful thing. Powerful. And evidenced by the accuracy of my calls over the past, 6 months doing this. Called virtually every move in Bitcoin action. You can too. And in many cases, I've actually mapped it out and shown you where it's going to go weeks in advance, hitting every single inflection and pivot point. And if you don't believe me, my TradingView link is down below. You can go check it out for yourself. So if you want to trade like that, you want to trade with that kind of certainty, and be in my Discord group where I'll start talking about how to become a disciplined trader, how to develop a systematic approach. And if you really want to get into it, you'll take me up on my coaching. I provide coaching from single session to a quarter, full, and then the full program. You'll benefit greatly. All right, let's get to it. Oh, Bitcoin. There are so many YouTubers out there that just can't understand why Bitcoin's coming down. They said that it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't deserve to be here. It deserves to be at 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. They simply don't understand that it doesn't matter what they think. The only thing that matters is what the market thinks. And right now, the market's down on Bitcoin. It's as simple as that. When you provide an objective analysis, a fundamental analysis of this, and then apply it to the volume profile, it becomes so clear. It becomes crystal clear where Bitcoin is likely to go and why it went there. So right now, my last call was that we would hit around 7,600, 7,550, 7,600, and I said that we would more than likely find some pretty good resistance there, and that's what's happening. We did poke through it and hit as low as 7,260, I believe. And now we've come back up and we keep on hovering around that level. Now we've come down below that 7,600. And so now that, because it was on a low volume well, that support now has become resistance. Now, is it possible that we move back up into that high, mid 8,000, 9,000 range? It is possible. Is it likely? I don't think it's so likely. I think it's much more likely that we go down to that next level of 7,100 and then even lower than that. So 7,100 would be right here, this big volume node. So I'm saying it's more likely from where we are here to hit here than here. And why is that? Because the fundamental analysis, if you do it correctly, gives you a bearish sentiment. And if I'm sitting halfway between these two volume nodes, then obviously I'm going to favor the one that's lower, right? I mean, it's just kind of a tacit thing to see. Now, the other thing is that we have three big areas of volume wells. We have this big guy here that we're navigating through, and because of that, I believe very strongly that we'll come back down to the 7,100 area, and then we'll start auctioning back and forth somewhere between 6,800 and 7,200, and we'll hang out there for a little while, I'm sure. If the bearishness continues, if the news in Bitcoin and regulatory issues and the DOJ and all the other stuff that just keeps on piling on and on to Bitcoin, then we're going to hit this next huge volume well. And this, man, this is a slippery one. And if we do come through, we're going to reach my original target of 5,700. I have no doubt whatsoever. And if we do that, there's no reason why we can't hit this next volume well and come down as low as 4,200, 4,300. I know that sounds scary, hard to imagine. But quite frankly, if you took us a year back, it's about where we were before. And maybe a few months before that, we were only at $1,000 Bitcoin. So I don't know why this is so hard to imagine. I can understand. You rise, and have this blow off top, but it was a bubble. It was fake. It didn't. Let's see. Are bubbles real? Bubbles are certainly real, and they mean something. And it brings a lot of new people into the market, a lot of new money. But when they pop for a reason, because the market has found it overvalued. Now we're trying to figure out, well, where is that real value? As we come down, we're searching. Where is the value of Bitcoin? And it's hard to imagine, especially if you took positions up here in the 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 area, that the true value of Bitcoin could potentially be around $5,000 or even $3,000. Can you imagine that? But that's for now. Value is something that is impermanent. All depends on the public sentiment. And right now, the public sentiment on Bitcoin and altcoins necessarily is very low. That's why the DOJ, the SEC, the CFTC, and other agencies around the world are cracking down on fraudsters and scammers. And the DOJ recently is cracking down on parties. I was going to say individuals or whatever, because I'm not sure exactly, that are doing spoofing and other illegal tactics to try to manipulate the price of Bitcoin, which isn't surprising to me. It's a relatively illiquid market, extremely volatile, and a lot of people that simply don't have a lot of experience in trading, and they're very, very easy to manipulate, especially if they have these dreams of their Lambos and hoes. Just get those thoughts out of your head and start being a little bit more realistic. Now, none of this means that I don't believe in Bitcoin or believe that it can go to these heights that they're professing. And in fact, I still have my $30,000 target by the end of the year. But a lot of things have to change between now and then in order to achieve that kind of target. A lot of things. And I'll be talking about those things in future videos. So, next intermediate target, 7,100. We'll go down to the next level, the 4-hour level. And you see, here was my original target. I spotted this original target back on, I believe, the 14th or the 15th of May. And that evidenced by my TradingView published charts. You'll see that. And so we hit that area. And I also said that we would make our way down to that 7,100 area, which is right about there. Now you can see that we have a little bit of market structure to navigate here. And one of the things that you'll notice, these volume nodes, right now we're in a big volume well for sure. And there's really nothing keep in between us and 7,100 right now. As we slip down into this area, yeah, we might find some value here, and there may be a lot of Bitcoiners that have consternation and just can't let go of that fact, and they'll try their best to defend that area. But as that DOJ sweep or raid continues and it expands, and it is going to expand, and then also the anticipation of the G20 meeting coming up in July, I think that there's going to be some sort of crossroads that we're going to meet in between now and July on that G20 meeting by the FATF. That's their financial task force. The news that comes out of that FATF meeting with the G20 in July, I suspect is not going to be positive. And what I'm hoping for, and I'll explain. It's not like a sort of this demonic wish. What I really am hoping for is a crash in the market. Why? This will help accelerate the wiping out of all the shit coins, of all the crap that's out there, the things that are actually holding distributed ledger technology back. Right? Bring us back into the real world. Please. So that's what I'm anticipating. I'm anticipating that that G20 meeting is going to be disappointing. We may start moving up towards it. I'm sure that there's going to be news and the pundits are all going to get excited about it, anticipating something positive. And I'm telling you, even if it is positive, I would say, unless it's wildly eye-opening, anything from mediocre to negative is going to mean a crash. From there, I expect that we're going to start seeing some clarity in the market, where other coins and tokens and use cases and infrastructure will start taking hold. Bigger companies will then start, coming to the forefront and talking about their plans, their successes. dApps will start emerging that people will become excited about. And at some point, I don't know what it's going to be, whether it's some major infrastructure and some governance model where enterprises can start now using distributed ledger technology and showing some real return on their investment, with cultural shifts that start talking about decentralized applications. This is really big, man. This is big. Decentralized, going from a centralized world to decentralized, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to require some great pain and change. But if something does happen between mid-July or July and the end of the year that catches that spark, I'm still holding on to the $30,000 target, or projection, I should say, that I think Bitcoin can reach. And that would probably mean a $1 trillion market cap, potentially, for coins. Now, of course, there are going to be far fewer coins out there, but it means that certain ones are going to start rising to the top and taking up that huge void. All right, so that's the way I see it. If you want to, as I said, if you want to learn more about volumetric analysis and how I'm able to hit, spot on virtually every move of this market, then take my course. The link will be down below. It's next Saturday. I'm going to have 2 times, 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. That's Eastern time. And if necessary, we'll add an additional Sunday time, but then there will also be a course the following week. And remember, if you buy the course prior to the end of this weekend, this long holiday weekend, you will get a free coaching session from me. All right? I take those coaching sessions very seriously. I'm here to help you. And make sure you join the Discord group. I'm there all the time. We'll see you next video.